I got to the exam, I think I was saying something about satellite and all. And I'm like, oh God, how did we get here? I was expecting something that has to do like health and science. That one I'll be very eager to like read and go through it and answer the questions. But when I saw it, I was like, we're already here. I just have to do it. And I went through them. I left the ones that I saw that they were hard, and I went through the rest and I did what I could do and I had my 7.5 there. At the same thank you. What I was struggling when I did the practice when I was done. I think I was having 6.5 for a very long time, more than 2 weeks. And I'm always in my house. Once it's 12 o'clock, I carry my bag and I go home. Once I get home, I just open my laptop again till the following class. So then I realized, okay, the method I'm taking, it cannot help me because fine, what will be done in class will be done in class, but at the same time, practice makes perfect. So I said, I know if I stay in my house, I cannot do anything. I started coming here every day. Most times I stay till 3, 4, 5. And I'm just practicing. For a whole week, I think, I didn't do anything other than reading. I just kept on practicing, reading. When I realized, okay, I'm not good at this part, if it's matching identity with this, I'll go to the end of it and I will do exercises on just that part. When I'm sure I'm fine with it, I'll go and do the full test. If I see that, okay, I did this one well, this part I still have issues in it, I'll go back to the end of it, do exercises on only that part. I'll go to the YouTube page too and watch classes about that particular part, and with time, I improved.
How about other movies?
For the listening, I've not always had issues with it, listening. Though I was always on band 7, and I was not looking for anything other than 7, so I was fine. So for the listening, there was this movie that we asked to, yeah, Acrimony. So it was when I watch on normal day, if it's not Nollywood, I cannot watch it. Honestly, though it's not all this cliche Nollywood, but at the same time, if it's not Nollywood, I cannot watch it. But that acrimony has like without subtitle, try to understand because we were told we are coming to narrate it. So I was like, okay, I just have to understand and listen without subtitle. And that way, I watched like few others, the materialists, speak up and the like. So that way, I was able to like get accustomed to like their accent and everything. So the listening was okay. And I think when I was in the exam hall, I think I'll just advise everybody to pay attention. Don't let anything divert your attention for just 1 second. Someone called for attention beside me, and that was why I missed the two that I missed because I was listening to what the person said and I didn't know when time passed. I heard it, but at the same time, I was not paying attention because there was even multiple choice. So it was, and I'm sure it was those two. I'm very, very sure it was those two that made me add my 8.5. So as difficult as it will be because there are things going on around you, just have to ignore every other thing and just face your laptop. So that's what I would advise for listening.
Right, right.
For writing, that's where I had my lowest score. I think I had 7.0. Yeah, 7.0 in writing. Writing is hard. It does not lie to each other. Writing is hard. You just have to continue practicing, giving the tutors to mark for you, giving AI. And one thing is, don't allow the score AI is giving you to discourage you because most times, I don't think AI is giving me anything other than 6. I think I had 7 once on AI. And I'm like, okay, no problem. If AI is giving me 6.5, I'll just have to continue trying. I think I had 6.5 one time like that. And I was, so just continue trying. It doesn't have to be all this big grammar, but at the same time, don't limit it to the common vocabulary and the like. So just learn how to develop your points properly. It doesn't have to be too much. Just speak. And there's this PDF Mr. Taiwo shared with me. I think something by Maka. That was for speaking. Yeah, that was for speaking. And eventually, I went to Google myself to look for writing tax 1, writing tax 2. So I read those ones too, and they helped me a lot. I discovered them, I think, 2 days to the exam. I was able to go through them. I didn't even know there was the writing because Tata only gave me the speaking. No, once I went to Google one day and I found out there's the writing, tax 1 and tax 2 for the PDF. So I used it and I shared it with Mr. Jude, and we used it together, and it was really helpful. For speaking is that the spirit leads because honestly, if I'm to judge by what I did here on Friday, I was not expecting anything higher than a 6. And apart from that, on the day of the exam, I was supposed to do my speaking by 2 p.m. Technical issues, it was moved to 2:40. By 2:40, I was already in part 2 when the thing ended abruptly. I was reallocated again to 4 o'clock. I was already destabilized. I was well, there was someone there. I was like, okay, just calm down. The best is stay for the last. I'm like, yes, I know this one. I don't need it now. But at the same time, I went in. One thing I would advise for speaking is don't try to memorize anything because you will forget. Just let it flow naturally. I didn't know I even had idiom naturally because I normally I cannot use idiom to talk. But yes, I remembered I used to. I think that's a stitching 9. A stitching time saves 9, and necessity is the mother of invention because I was talking about science and technology. So I remember those two. And I use proverbs also. Practice makes perfect and sharing is caring. I was stuttering. I was repeating words. I could not sleep after the exam because I kept on asking ChatGPT. This is what I said. What do you think? Honestly, I could not sleep. What do you think? I just say, it's normal to stutter, but at the same time, I'm like, hey, okay. Based on what you said, I think you should have from a 6. I'm not looking for a 6. I don't want a 6. And eventually, I saw 8.0 to my surprise. To my to my surprise. So I just believe speaking, just let it flow. Just anything you have, just let it flow naturally. Just and me, to the glory of God, my examiner was a female and she was smiling all through. She was just smiling and nodding. I'm like, okay, even if I'm saying nonsense, you're smiling and nodding, no problem. Let's continue together. So I saw her as a friend because even when I say things, she'll be like, oh, I'm like, oh. I'm like, they say people used to nod and do this thing, and you people still give people 6.0, please. And I think that really made me comfortable. Mr. Jude said his examiner was a man and they have a lot of responsibility. He was not smiling at all. Said his examiner was frowning throughout, and that was like cheering him up a bit. But at the same time, I was like, okay, I'm not looking at your face, so I just have to say what I have to say. And he was back on track. So at the same time, while preparing, prepare for someone that will not frown and someone that will smile. Um, well, I think a smiling examiner actually puts people at ease. But even if the person is not smiling, just continue and remember the reason why you actually came to write their IELTS in the first place. So yes.
How do you manage your time?
For okay, for listening, there's no you can manage your time. It's just time. You just have to continue listening. When it's done, it's done. There's no managing of time for listening. But when it comes to reading, for reading, I finished and I had like 5 minutes to go through what I did. And basically, I was just checking for spelling mistakes. I wasn't checking for answers because I know the moment I start checking for answers, doubt will enter and I'll start clearing one to put another thing. So I do not advise anybody to do that. But at the same time, I was just checking for spelling mistakes for my reading. The time for reading was actually enough. It was enough. For writing, follow the advice from the class. I was looking at 20 minutes. Immediately I saw 40 minutes remaining. I had already made up my mind that whether I'm done or not, I'm leaving this thing. But I was able to finish. So immediately I saw 40 minutes, I moved to writing two. When I was done with writing two, I had few seconds to check. And I just checked it, I think first 2 lines before the thing stopped by itself. But Mr. Jude, when I spoke to him, he said he did writing two first before going to one. And I think writing two carries twice the mark of one. So I think I would advise anybody to focus more on writing two than one. And that book for marker also, it helps with writing too. It gives you like a shorter version. And also the classes, people should read jottings on. Jottings from the classes. So those were the only things, those are what I was reading the morning of the exam. I just took a picture of the notes I took in class. I was just reading them because at that moment, I know if I read anything again, if I start cramming any vocabulary, there's no way I will remember. I was just basically reading instructions and other things that were given to us in class. So time management is very crucial.
Okay, there was a part in reading that they said drag and drop. Did you meet a question like
Yes,
that?
yes. Speaking of instructions, in reading, there was this matching paragraph. And me, when I got to the exam, I think there were like six, I don't know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 7 paragraphs and 7 questions. So I just automatically assumed each paragraph as with the answer to a question. When I was cross checking, I saw that particular question and I read the question again. And it said a paragraph that talks about farmers in a particular country using satellite data for agriculture. And in paragraph 1, they're talking about farmers using satellite data for agriculture. I didn't know, I didn't read the part where they said in a country. So I realized I was in paragraph C that we're talking about farmers in a particular country using that technology for agriculture. It was not until I read the instruction and I saw you may use a paragraph more than once that I realized that there was no answer for A and C had 2 answers. So on a very good day, I would have just left it like that if I didn't even question because I believe A, B, C, D, E, F and there are 7 questions. So everything will definitely have an answer. Very important.
Any other question? So was it just speaking that you had to wait to do it? Every other module you did.
Yes, 2 hours, 45 minutes, I think, together. So you can either do speaking first and then LWR later, or you do those ones first and speaking later.
Sorry about that reading. It is different. I think 4
It's in
places.
different
So
parts.
can you skip one and go
Yes,
to another one?
yes,
You can
yes.
skip and
You
go
can
to
skip and go to another one and come back. Yeah, I was having problem with I think 21 to 24. The answer was not coming. So I just left it and moved to the next passage, then came back to it. And funny enough, you might even find the answer while you are doing another part of it. You might be looking for another answer and you just come back, oh, this is where you are, and I'll go back and just pick the answer. So it's advisable not to spend time on the ones you don't know, just leave them and go, then you can come back. The advice is to answer all questions, whether you are right or wrong. It's not like there's negative marking if you miss one minus half. So just try to do everything, whether but be sure that you answered all questions. That's important.
Thank you so much.